For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say it. Right, I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crying in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
The Martinican debate will explain during the course of the broadcast. What do you expect will come out of the mouth of the Speaker of the House of Assembly tomorrow when it next convenes? And this is in light of him mulling over the possibility of ceasing the airing of the proceedings of the House of Assembly. All that and more, including an interview with the first female speaker of St. Lucia. You're watching NewsSpin on our NewsSpin Facebook page. We are also on YouTube, and you're listening to the broadcast as well on Power 97.9 FM. My name is Timothy Poleon. In a moment, you'll be hearing from Kimani because she'll be going through some of your comments in the chat room. And, of course, I'll be entertaining your calls at 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. So we have another much anticipated sitting of the House of Assembly tomorrow. And I imagine that at the commencement we'll be hearing from the Speaker of the House. And he's been delivering speech after speech with much anticipation since he took up the position a little over 2 years ago. Statements of one nature of the other pertaining to his stewardship or ruling on matters involving particularly the leader of the parliamentary opposition. What do you expect will happen tomorrow? And we don't have a crystal ball, and it's only the Speaker, along with the elected MPs on the side of the government, who might be in a position right now as we speak to say what will be said and what position will be taken. They would have caucused over this, they would have spoken about it, and over a particular period, or maybe they will meet on it later this evening, and a decision will be taken, and then an announcement will be made. Irrespective of the decision taken by the Speaker, I think it will be yet another embarrassment for us in St. Lucia. If he says, well, I have scrutinized the situation, and upon closer examination, I have concluded that going forward, we'll continue to broadcast sittings of the House of Assembly, what will we say? Man, you had no choice. We are in an enlightened period. And it's not a case anymore where people can decide that they want to keep information from people or keep the proceedings of, let's say, sporting events from the fans. You know, you can't go back in time. You only, as far as the dissemination of information is concerned, you can only progress. Can we say that a game between two main rivals in cricket, Australia and India, will not be televised because one individual of the cricket BCCI decides that, all of a sudden they will stop televising it? The sport fans, they have a say in this. You have sponsors, the major teams, they will have a say. In this particular case, the speaker just arbitrarily deciding, and that's his right. He can make that determination. Now, not because, you go on social media and people are saying, but he can do it. Yes, he can do it. But any and everything people can do, is it acceptable? Should we just sit on the sidelines and allow them to have their merry way? Is that what we have come to right now? That we make excuses? Then one time we say it's illegal. The next time we say based on tradition. Another time we say that he can do this, etc., etc. There are some things that cannot be allowed to take root and to take shape in our society. You cannot allow people to abuse their authority. The fact that you can do something does not mean you ought to do it. Does not mean that you should be allowed to do it. Where does it stop? Where does it stop? So whether he decides he's going to continue to allow the airing of the proceedings of the House, whether he decides not to do it, it would be seen as a major embarrassment, not only for the Speaker, but also for the government of the St. Lucia Labour Party. There are some people who are monitoring this closely, and they are taking note, and they are seeing a pattern of behavior that they consider to be intolerable. And they are not the individuals who every day, sometimes twice on every program, they'd want to air their opinion, whether it's from the north, the south, the east, or the west. Those people are quiet. And very often, they surprise us. 16-1. Boy, I never saw this coming. I ought to learn from this. And 14-3. I never saw this coming. I ought to learn from this. 15-2. What a shock. What a surprise. Overwhelming mandate given to the St. Lucia Labour Party. Who knows? There is yet another surprise on the horizon for us. And it might be coming very, very soon as far as the outcome of the island's next general election. We're not preaching violence on this broadcast. We have never done this. This is not part of our DNA. We don't have a record of preaching instability in our country. What we want people to do is to hold the governments accountable, and also on the day of reckoning, go out there and vote according to their conscience. But in the meantime, in the interregnum, between the period when a government has been elected And when you have a general election, the people have a right to ensure that the government does things that are in accordance with what the people want. The people must always have a say. Not only once every 5 years. The people must have a say, and the people must always ensure that they are consulted. I mean, GPH, major decision taken, leasing our ports for 30 years. Not 30 hours. Not 30 days. You're talking about 30 years with an option to extend that lease by another 10 years. And you hear government ministers on various talk shows, not NewsSpin, making all kind of excuses and saying, wait, you'll understand the deal. We have taken a decision and we got a better deal than Antigua, than the Bahamas. You alone will determine whether it's a good deal for St. Lucia. So it's the minority who are leading the majority in this country. And this is not the first time that this is happening. You are just considered to be too unsophisticated, too stupid, not to be part of the decision-making process. Leave that to a cabal. Leave that to the cabal. They are the ones who will be making that determination. And at some point in time, when they deem it necessary, then they will inform you what is in that deal. Our NewsSpin question of the day. Why is this the darkest period in the history of St. Lucia? Why is this the darkest period in the history of St. Lucia? And this has elicited lots of comments. Somebody says that the darkest period is when both sides stop the hatred of one another. Of course, politics has always been the devil's advocate, but now it has been an all-time low. Mutual respect for one another needs to come back. Another person says, because at the time when students are defying the authority of teachers, the same behavior is displayed in Parliament. Some more of your comments. Because first time in St. Lucia history, you have a man that's taking the Labour Party to task in real time. And in response, what he's doing is deliberately creating confrontation with the speaker to make himself look like a hero. Some behavior teachers have to deal with. Another one says, it's some of the comments for me, LOL. It's a good thing my IQ is on point. Another person says, the years Alan was bullying St. Lucia. Another one says, wow, now I realize why we are in these doldrums. And some more comments. And what makes it even worse is that they can now freely spew their ignorance for all to see. So in the comments, some of the reaction to our NewsSpin question of the day. Why is this the darkest period in the history of St. Lucia? Let us put this whole thing into context. What led to the speaker having to mull over the possibility of denying you the right to follow parliamentary proceedings via television and social media? We have a report which was aired on the DBS News World last evening, and the reporter is Zane Romulus.
Live broadcasts of the House proceedings may soon be a thing of the past. Speaker Claudius Francis indicated as much when he made this announcement just before closing off Tuesday's lower house sit-in.
One final note, members. On Friday morning, I will rule on whether these proceedings shall continue to be carried live. I will make that ruling when we begin sitting.
His declaration came at the end of another unbridled session with members of Parliament taking jabs at each other and very little discussion on the substantive matters before the House.
Remember, I'm not going to ask you to take your seat again.
But I'm asking you, Mr. Speaker.
No, I'm not going to ask you again. Do not debate with the presiding
officer.
officer.
A member of the House to mislead the House. How can you do that?
Are you going to take your seat?
No, Mr. Speaker.
Sergeant, Are you going to take your seat?
I'm not taking my seat until you can give me a satisfactory answer, Mr.
Member, I have
Speaker.
made
Allow
a
man
ruling.
to come to this house and
Please
lead the house
take
so blatantly.
your seat.
It's a lie, Mr. Speaker. And I'm asking you to stand up.
Members of GIS, under the standing orders, I do have the authority to ask you to turn off your cameras while I'm about to do what I have to do. Please take your seat.
The Speaker's announcement has triggered a firestorm of criticism, mainly from supporters of the opposition United Workers' Party. They have raised concerns about the public's right to know and access to government information, and have pointed out that the Speaker's statements contradict his earlier stance on this issue. During the opening of the first session of Parliament, when the current SLP administration took office, the Speaker had expressed his support for the public's right to access the House debates.
I have also instructed the Clerk of Parliament to return to the southern walls of this body, this building, the horns and loudspeakers, so that the people within the Constitution Park can hear what's happening in the People's House. Under my watch, there will be no barriers, there will be no tapes around the precincts of the Parliament.
In his announcement on Tuesday, Speaker Francis did give the reasoning behind his statement.
The live coverage of sittings are the preserve of the presiding officer. And if members are going to use it not to debate what is before them, but to make statements to people not in the chamber, I will have to stop the live proceedings. The recordings will continue, but I will make a ruling on Friday morning as to whether the live coverage of these proceedings will continue.
The House Speaker has in previous House sittings hinted at discontinuing the live coverage of parliamentary sessions. Based on his assertions on Tuesday, this now seems more likely. A final decision is expected to be made by the Speaker on Friday morning. For the DBS News World, I am Zane Romulus.
You just heard there that report once again by DBS's Zane Romulus, aired during the DBS News World last evening. My prediction, the Speaker does not have a choice, and the proceedings of the House of Assembly will continue to be aired live on the National Television Network. You heard it first on NewsSpin, the most monitored talk show in the world. Kimani, what's happening in the chat room? We open the lines right now at 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026.
Good afternoon, Tim. Someone in the chat room says, Tim, to my mind, if what the Speaker wanted to do was legal, why did he want the cameras off? I really want to know. Another comment, if the Speaker were to take that decision, the court would overturn it upon review because it would be seen as an affront to the doctrine of legitimate expectation and an abuse of power. Someone says, those political flub or hacks, all they do is complain about the roads in St. Lucia, but ask them what Chastney did for them in his tenure as Prime Minister. The man is desperate for power. After 2 years in power, the government is running the country very well and should be complimented. Another comment, it's 2023. SMH, why all the censorship in the People's House? Someone says, SOS, save our St. Lucia. Another comment in the chat room, this government knows why they are not popular no more, so they are doing everything they can to hold one to power, but I'm afraid they are making it worse for themselves.
We have a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air. Good afternoon.
Tim, good afternoon. How
Hi,
are you?
I'm okay, caller. Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, I know you are very much preoccupied as to what is happening in our House of Assembly.
I'm preoccupied with everything, sir.
Well, I quite agree. Last night, let me just briefly say before I say anything on what is happening in our house, in the House of Assembly. There was an accident in the Canal Road last night. Now, I don't know whether this has brought to you that there is some activities taking place along that road between Savans Bay Canal all the way to where they're building that hotel at Canal. So a company is running a pipe on the highway itself. But what is happening, they are cutting part of in fact, along the road going all the way to Rich Canal, Sati area there. But the thing that should have been taken care, they are leaving those materials that they are backfilling those pipes on the long side of the road. In some areas where they have manhole, they have to do manholes. They block in that area and it reducing the major highway into a single lane traffic with no proper sign team. And you can imagine that stretch of road there. It's a long stretch of road from Canal to Savans Bay. And that accident was so bad. In fact, there have been 3 accidents lately in that particular area. And Suzuki Vitara overturned and fall on its back team. And if you see the state of that vehicle, 3 persons got injured in that accident. And I believe if you are doing a project like that on a major highway like that, I mean, that thing has been there for months, about 2 to 3 months. Try and give somebody a contract to do those a manhole quickly so that you can move in those materials on a major highway like that with no proper signing, especially in the night. And I'm saying this, I'm not the only person. Somebody in the South will call you. Because I know you are not familiar to this because you don't move to those areas. But
How you know that?
in the South.
How you know that, caller? How you know that?
I don't know whether you are aware what is taking place at Canal where the building had. So they're running a private pipeline.
Caller, I could be driving around St. Lucia incognito, you know. All right, without you identifying me. Okay, the fact I don't boast about it does not mean you could say what you could jump to. You could jump to any conclusion you want, sir. You don't know my business. All right.
I
okay.
know what you drive. Very
you
well
don't
anyway.
know. You don't know. Especially these days, when you're concerned about your security. Sometimes you're in a limousine. Sometimes you're in a Hilux vehicle. You never know. Okay.
Well.
All right.
Maybe. You're a bourgeois anyway, so I know that. So you change vehicles.
I know of bourgeois people driving me around sometimes.
But let me, Tim, and I say that, and somebody else who have heard that, because I suspect every time I mention things like this on NewsSpin, you know, people thought it's a joke. The last time we spoke about the canal thing, they come declare that area very nice. We spoke about the Opicon Corvette, and I think they do it. It is nice now, so vehicle can use those 2 sides of the lane of road easily without no accident. But the thing at Canal is a major hazard. But Tim, what is happening?
And somebody's actually agreeing with you in the chat room. I think the person says there, I agree with the caller. That is a calamity waiting to happen on the Canals Road. Continue.
Yes, exactly. So I'm telling you, if you are doing that project, give somebody as soon as that shuttles, those manuals supposed to be taken a day or 2 to do. You don't need that for months. They're reducing traffic on a major, timber vehicle nearly take me out there, clean sweep. So something needs to be done. I only hope I look somebody in your chat room response, so I hope other persons who have been affected or almost be victim to that would speak as well. What has happened into the House of Assembly today? It's a blatant shame for us. We talking about democracy, and we have a democratic system is still functioning. Every 5 years there is election, and the people of St. Lucia has a right to exercise the right. What I see is happening in the house of Buick Kaikosha today. Very, very much, unaccepted. When you can tell me you can stop the proceeding of the house so that before we used to stay home and enjoy in the House Assembly, we didn't have to go Castries or at the Aquarius Crossing to watch it on TV. We could see it home. And you can stop this. One man move like radical because he's still operative. He's not independent as a speaker. He's the operative of the party. He's a member of the party. And he's moving ahead and use the Parliament of St. Lucia, that is the Westminster style of parliament we have, and do what he wants with it. And all we do, we stay there, we sat there, and expecting that there will be a change of speaker and our parliament will be, when we're talking about now I'm saying this, we want to control the crime. I had a prime minister talking about 25 days, no crime, and he's so happy. He's happy. The last time he said something like that, and pretty soon we recorded back-to-back to free. And then when this type of message can be sent out there, show how radical, how you can dominate because you're in government. We on the outside are monitoring what is happening very close. Do you want us to have respect for those persons who are conducting parliament? We cannot. We just cannot respect you. And St. Lucia become a country like an eye for an eye. You step on my feet and I step on yours. And that is how we have seen today in the Parliament of St. Lucia. That is the behavioral pattern. Would you want your children to be an MP to be in the house of Magic Ocean? No, I would not. I definitely would not want my children to be a member of Parliament, not to run an election. Because every day that passes, House Assembly becomes worse and worse, and we are begging and pleading who will be responsible enough to put some peace, tranquility, and normalcy into the Parliament of St. Lucia. Why you refuse to allow the member to make his presentation? Because you have a two-thirds majority, and we on the out there will just watch and listen and just stand there and say nothing. Alan Shastner is a member of Parliament. The people of Mikutsa vote him in the Parliament of St. Lucia. He did not come here by mistake, by alien. He is representing a constituency. And every time this type of behavior is starting, the people in the constituency are remain steadfast, as to what is the next move. Don't forget those that are in church parliament. He is representing a constituency, and the constituency is very, very much monitoring what is happening and the behavior, what he is facing in the parliament. You don't treat human being like that, because at some appointed time, karma will do what it has to do with us. I thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, caller. We have another contributor, this time via WhatsApp, as we say, good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You on the air? Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Hello, good afternoon, Mr. Poleon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you, caller.
Yeah, you know, I'm really fascinated at the Minister of Tourism this morning on a show. State the amount of misinformation he has stated to people in the diaspora listening to him all over the world, St. Lucians listening, and also in St. Lucia. It's very unfortunate. Because one of the things I just was told this morning by an African colleague, meaning a St. Lucian African from Ghana.
Caller, you're sounding very muffled. I'm not hearing you too clearly at all. Hello?
Oh, well,
I'm hearing you
do
better
you have
now.
a line I could...
I am hearing you better now. Continue.
Do you have a line?
I am hearing you better now. Just continue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. African St. Lucian from St. Lucia, his parents are the Pattersons from Patterson Gap. You remember Patterson Gap? The gentleman that owned all these lands somewhere in Leslie Land known as Patterson Gap. Well, his generations of his children went back to meet their father in Ghana. And they listened to your show, quite a number of shows. And one of the things they said, that Africa has learned that they must never, ever in their life sell their port to any country. For example, he's talking about China. So what has happened?
Okay. Caller, we have to terminate this call because the quality is not good at all. Anyway, thank you so much. Maybe you could try back. 452-2979. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. WhatsApp message, somebody says, a parliamentary speaker should be fair to ensure impartiality, uphold democratic principles, and maintain the integrity of the legislative process. Him hosting a talk show could compromise perceived neutrality, as it may involve expressing personal opinions or biases, potentially undermining the speaker's role and integrity as an unbiased arbiter in the parliamentary proceedings. However, the speaker has been the most blatantly inflammatory and polarizing one in our history while pretending to be impartial. The recent parliamentary discussions are starting to look like the beginnings of an autocracy. We must not allow this to happen, lest we become a failed state like Haiti or Venezuela. Let's see if we get another call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Yeah, sorry, but I went to the line.
Yes.
It's clear now.
Go ahead, caller.
Are you hearing me?
I'm hearing you a little better.
Okay. Yeah, I was saying one of the things the solution from a generation said, one of the mistakes that Africans did was sell their port to investors and to countries. And now they're paying for it because some of the ports are lost to these investors and these countries. In case of St. Lucia, the Minister of Tourism said this morning that they have a better deal than Antigua and Barbuda and Jamaica, but and they made a deal for the head tax. They're the ones that did the deal for the head tax, which is unfortunate. It's $10. Antigua has $12, and Gaston Brown stated that when he first was negotiating for investment for the port, he was speaking to Carnival Cruise Line. And what happened? GPH, after was refused by Mia Motley over the same GPH investment, Mia Motley canceled the agreement. And they went to Antigua and Barbuda, and Gaston Brown listened to them because Carnival Cruise Lines was giving them a pretty tough time. Okay? They made an agreement with Antigua, not to hold the port or given any management of the port. Okay? And he stated, I have the information, he stated in that GPH is not leasing the port, they invested in the port, they are renting the port. Antigua and Bermuda are the sole persons responsible for Antigua Port Authority for that port, under no condition. Then he brought in the deal with Carnival Cruise Lines, where Carnival Cruise Lines were building all kinds of berths down there to accommodate the cruise line. And he stated, why would he make a deal with GPH? GPH doesn't own cruise lines. But the minister said much different. And one of the things Gaston Brown said, we must remember that these people, when they come to the Caribbean, they come with a load of heavy rolling consultants, and they think that Caribbean peoples are weak in negotiation. And he was waiting for them. And that is what has happened in St. Lucia, unfortunately. That these people are backed by billionaires in England, GPH. If they can never say they can run out of money because they did other ports before, which Malta and in Spain and Portugal. But they had to give it up because the agreements were finished, or some of them got their investment back. But they are a shareholder, nothing else. And they should never have any control over the ports in the Caribbean. And he stated that. That's why he said he quickened the deal with Carnival Cruise Lines, because they're the ones that have it.
Okay, caller. Thank you so much for your contribution. Still to come on the broadcast, we'll be hearing from the first female speaker of the House, a debate on Martinican, who is Martinican, who was born in Martinique, etc., all that and more between now and 2 o'clock this afternoon as we continue to monitor NewsSpin on Power 97.9 FM as well as on YouTube and the NewsSpin Facebook page.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbuta at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
It's my life and I want more. More time, more power. Pay my Lucy like bill isn't hard. I pay with credit or debit card. Pay direct to Lucy like my account. I have the power, yeah. Pay online to Lucy like my account. Anywhere, any day, any hour. Lights are on at home. No more standing in line. No more worrying about my bill. Now I'm all paid up. Got more time to chill, yeah, yeah. Pay my Lucy like bill isn't hard. I pay with credit or debit card.
Register today to set up Lucelect My Account by going to www.myaccount.lucelect.com on any device. Follow the steps to register and pay your electricity bills directly to Lucelect online and get back to your life. For now, this service is available to customers with domestic accounts only.
This Black Friday, KFC has a secret seasoned with surprise. A mouth-watering mystery awaits. One day, one chance to claim the taste that's too good to be whispered. Follow the aroma to KFC and uncover a Black Friday treasure. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Things are heating up at the National Farmers and General Workers Credit Union Limited. We've got some red-hot deals just for you with 100% financing. Rev up for some excitement with our incredible vehicle loan offer. Building or renovating, we've got you covered. Or pack up for that ideal getaway. This offer won't be available forever. Visit us today and take advantage of this limited time deal. Don't miss out on these fantastic deals with 100% financing. Only at the National Farmers and General Workers Credit Union Limited. We're your friend when you're in need.
If you suffer with pain from fibromyalgia, lupus, sickle cell anemia, sciatica, or arthritis, Lockley DeCoste doctor specialists from overseas in St. Lucia will diagnose and treat patients who have been suffering long. Lockley DeCoste specialists will treat the symptoms of stroke, brain injuries, spinal cord injuries with shoulders, elbows, knees, back, and neck pain, even plantar fasciitis being a pain of the past. Lockley DeCoste specialists in St. Lucia EMG tests will measure the damage in neuromuscular disorders and diabetic neuropathy because Lockley DeCoste doctor specialist provides proper diagnosis using the most effective treatment for you to live free of pain.
La Clinique Duco. Call 451-6559 or 721-9950. La Clinique Duco, located at number 17 High Street, Castries.
This holiday season flows your trusted guide with giveaways and cash to spread far and wide. Worth over 150,000, you heard right. This Christmas is on us, so you can go wild. Appliances for your home, laptop or phone, shopping sprees and cash galore. We're covering your holidays with joy for sure, cause when you are with Flow, you win more.
Hey guys, Flow wants you to know this Christmas is on us. Win over $150,000 in cash and prizes when you sign up, bundle up, switch up, pay up, top up, or activate a combo plan. Every day, it's a grand giveaway. Prizes include shopping sprees, appliances, ham, wine, and cold hard cash. This Christmas is on us. Visit in store or online today at discoverflow.co for more info.
Night Meds is your dependable neighborhood pharmacy. You'll notice that upon entry, you are greeted by caring professional staff, attentive to your every need. Your prescriptions are always treated with a high degree of confidentiality, and we pride ourselves on providing speedy, efficient service. We carry a wide array commonly requested over-the-counter products, and our prices are very competitive. We offer blood pressure testing, blood sugar, and cholesterol testing. We're open to fill your prescriptions Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Come visit Sadu's gas station on the Miku Highway or call us at 572-6840 or WhatsApp 461-6840 for more information. Night Meds Pharmacy. We are your community med store.
Automotive art is a place to start.
Can't get a break from all this tax? Head to Automotive Art and get a taxcation. Automotive Art is offering you an ease from VAT and health and safety levy with savings of up to 15% and more. That's right, 15% of all tools, 15% of all accessories, 15% of car detailing, 15% of all rims, 15% off computerized wheel alignment, and 15% and more of selected tires with savings of up to 30% on some sizes. It's Automotive Art Taxcation. Visit us at Automotive Art at Vidbuchai Castries and Latuni Vieux today and enjoy a taxcation. Offer valid for limited time. Some conditions apply. See stores for details.
The National Farmers and General Workers Cooperative Credit Union Society Limited is inviting all its members to its 28th annual general meeting for the financial year ending December 2022, which will be held on Sunday, November 26th from 10 a.m. at Chateau Heritage in Dennery. Also, the minutes and financial statement of the last AGM are available at both branches of the credit union. Everyone is asked to make a very special effort to attend the 28th annual general meeting of the National Farmers and General Workers Cooperative Credit Union Society Limited on Sunday, November 26th from 10 a.m.
It's coming. The brunch of the century. Welcome to Sunburned. Sunday, November 26th. Sunburned. Sunburned. It's coming.
Coming soon, Blast Gaming, powered by the Solution National Lottery, changing lives.
An update from Kimani as far as what's happening in the chat room. Good afternoon to you once again.
Someone says, it is very sad to sit and watch the disrespect that is taking place in the House. The Speaker speaks to the opposition leader like he is a little boy. This is unacceptable. If this is what one has to endure to save their country, then I would not encourage anyone to go through that. Another comment: with the latest announcement from Mr. Speaker, it's quite fitting when PW refers to the Banana Republic of St. Lucia. I don't understand why he stopped using the greeting. Someone says Claudius Francis should know better. What is the hatred about Mr. Shasney?
WhatsApp message: as a young person, I don't care anymore whether the sitting is live or not. I'm not interested. The reason why all these things are happening is because there is too much hatred for just one man. You can actually feel the hatred from the TV screen. In spite of me voting Labour, I have to admit the hatred started with us, the Labour Party. If we want these kinds of behavior to stop, let us stop the hate. By the way, I am voting again. Sick of this country. Sentiment shared by many people on Island.
Someone says, good day, everyone. We can all agree to disagree and avoid us insulting one another. Set the example. The comments don't have to be like the House of Parliament. Another comment: it doesn't make a difference to me whether it is aired or not, because it's a pack of hooligans in the House. I don't listen to them. Someone says the Speaker needs to do his job so the problem in the House will not escalate to the level of disrespect that is happening in the eyes of the public. Someone says every time Alan Chasney is making a contribution, the live will be cut. Another comment: how is the discontinuance of the live coverage supposed to assist the Speaker in taking control of the House?
WhatsApp message: happy Thanksgiving Day to you, Timothy, even if you are not in the United States. Well, happy Thanksgiving Day to all of you watching and listening to the broadcast from the U.S. The person continues: we should be thankful that St. Lucia is able to exercise their power to accept or reject the nonsense the government is doing. I'm heartbroken that the people are going through so much in these hard times. My plea to the people: stop the abuse from the people that they elected. We have a call coming from the diaspora. As we say hello, good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air.
Good afternoon, Timothy.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you.
And how are you doing? Yeah.
I am okay. How about you?
I'm good. It's good, but disappointed in what's happening in my country. Honestly, I don't know what is happening, but I sense what is happening in this country of St. Lucia. It is very bad. I remember even I was not at the age of voting as yet, and as a little boy used to follow the proceedings of this house in the time of Judge Marlett, Alan Boski, the pecans would come. I remember, when Alan Boski said to the Mr. Speaker, when Vella John came in politics, to break him down, tell him break it down, and that he could not understand what he was using, and it was laughing. Cecily came, you cannot milk the bull, and it was just laughing, and these men, you could see, like the pecans were coming, but there was that same semblance of unity. But now, like you can see, it's pure enemies that are ready to fight and kill in this House of Parliament. And it is so being abroad and watching and listening, like I believe like politicians believe that I wonder if they have a soul, that after politics is over, is there a life for them? Is there a soul? I listen to the Speaker of the House. I wonder if there is life after that era for him in his life. Is there a soul in them? I listen to Joachim, a man that's supposed to be, a man of a church, and his attitude, that anger that was in him at the last sitting of Parliament. What is going on? It's just sad. And I wonder if Emma Hippolyte is not praying again, because I remember in the time when she was in government and Guy was in opposition, she always said, what's about these things that are happening? And she's sitting right there, and it's part of her government. She's not praying again. All these people claim that they're of church. They're going to church. When they come, they speak of the Lord. The Lord is good. Why the one from Babuno, members of churches, are they not praying again? They don't they see those attitudes, those racial statements, and those things are going on? They don't pray anymore. I'm telling you, it's a sad day in St. Lucia. And sadly, I listened to that lady, that prophetess that was prophesying, and St. Lucians can take it as a joke, but I'm telling you, over this program this afternoon, NewsSpin, St. Lucian's going to wake up. And I take what the lady is saying seriously. There is going to be something is going to be, it could come like a form of another Thomas, but St. Lucia is under a spell. There's that darkness. And it's going to take some real waters to wash this country. And that these people in this nation can go back to God and cry out. The pastors, they're sleeping like, I don't know. I believe we are calling on the members of government to resign and do this. But I think the church members should arise and call out the pastors to speak. And if the pastors, the priests, they're not coming out to speak, they should act for their resignation. Because people are saying that, that the state and church, they are two different separately. No. If you check the Bible, there has always been government. In the Bible, that's where government started. Daniel, there was government. Joseph was the governor of Egypt. All these, they were their government. And the government and the men of God in the country, they're supposed to stand on that. Because I don't believe that they just, there to lead the people to heaven. The people are still on earth. The people are still going through the pain and the suffering. They are supposed to be a voice for the people, stand up to the things, the injustice, and the things that the government is doing that is affecting the lives of the people. They're supposed to come out and speak, because all these pastors, they get in a salary like the ministers every month. And it's just not to be there to take people to heaven, because they are not in heaven as yet. They have also the task to stand up in this life for them. And I'm calling upon every one of them to stand, because during the last election that went there, I was getting voice notes from prophetess and this from St. Lucia, calling on the former prime minister. They were calling on him. The one said, there was one on DBS, your television, where you broadcast, that saying that the prime minister has innocent blood. Blood is on his hands. They will prophesy. They had all prophecies. Now, I don't know what is happening. Even Pastor Ben, I have a problem with him. He has allowed politics to blind him as well. No matter what he's saying, he's praying. But Pastor Ben knows exactly where the problem lies. He knows it's not those little guys that are doing the little shooting. He knows exactly. Those big men in the house, they are not calling upon. He's supposed to call upon them. He sees, he hears what is happening, and he can see the injustice and the just. He's supposed to speak out, and that's the problem that I have. Even the people say about calling about the Catholic Church, the Archbishop is already paid, he got his medal already. I don't expect him to speak. And all these people, they should come out and speak on behalf of the people. Or else, if they don't speak, these things will continue. And it looks like even the pastors and the priests, like the darkness is over their lives too. I'm calling this nation to return to God and seek his face, because people might take what the lady said is joke, but it is serious. I have seen it, and there is going to be something happening in this country, St. Lucia, that the people don't wait for when it happened to go and cry. Cry before it happened. And through your program, I would like to know what is happening with the St. Lucia Hotel, because this is where I am from the south. This honestly said that they negotiated a better deal than the former government. Then this hotel was supposed to start in January.
Hello? Okay. You seem to have lost the caller.
23, yes,
okay, right, he's back.
So what has gone wrong with this project? I want to know. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Here's hoping that the authorities will provide you or furnish you with some kind of clarification as far as this project is concerned. Let me see if I have any of your WhatsApp messages to go through. I think we have a call, so we'll take this call instead. Good afternoon, NewsSpin, you're on the air.
Tim.
Hi, good afternoon, Rick.
Let me begin by saying this business about that demonstration of those people in Constitution Park at the weekend. I'm sure there's a law against that, you know. At the very least, those people are dispensing medicine, Tim.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think you can just go and practice medicine without a license. Also, I don't think, I think visiting doctors under any guise, they have to abide by certain laws, you know?
Yes. And that's where that's where the St. Lucia Medical and Dental Association comes in, and also
exactly. So
also Rick, the CMO, the Chief Medical Officer.
Well, and you know, there's so many people, which tells us something. There's so many people who are repeating, sometimes reluctantly, but they have faith in what this woman was saying about some tsunami visitation, or you know, something terrible is going to happen to St. Lucia and whatever. It appalls me that so many people seem to believe that. You know what a negative that is in terms of our psyche, Tim?
Yeah.
Of course, it's a sign of the times we're living in. We in St. Lucia.
And the fact is, Rick, when you have your belief in certain things and you have certain biases, you tend to lean towards anybody who is preaching exactly what you believe in, which is, for example, people who tell you at some point in time, a massive hurricane will destroy St. Lucia, will devastate St. Lucia. But it is on course to happen in terms of the probability, because of where we are located. We're in the hurricane season, and from time to time we'll be hit by a storm.
I mean, we have been told before to expect an earthquake. What's the one? Where is it?
Tsunami or tsunami?
Eh?
You talking about
earthquake or something?
Mm-hmm.
I forget what it's called, but we've been told to expect an earthquake for years.
Yes.
I mean, that's not what I'm talking about. So, in fact, we've even had scientific pronouncements on the vulnerability of these islands to volcanoes and so on. I understand that. But this woman, in the guise of some kind of Moses or whatever, and I was very disturbed by that. I was very depressed by the ignorance of that. I mean, that's Benny Hinn, and this. I mean, these things are cons that have been exposed over and over in other countries, even though these preachers, charlatans, continue to do it. But at least every now and again they expose sort of frauds they are.
Is the faith that we have in certain thing, which is marked, Rick, by desperation. When, for example, a guy is on a wheelchair, and he was saying that he's possessed by some demon, okay, and I could see the demon get up and walk, and then the guy he falls, and people are surprised.
You saw those women who were lying on the ground as well.
It's just like saying, Rick, come, you can walk all over again.
That reminds me of the what's Eddie Murphy thing. You know, I can walk. But Tim, you know, even more appalling. Joachim, what's his name? Joachim what?
Henry.
Joachim Henry. A man who's supposed to be a man of God. actually stood there and delivered to reporters a 15-minute lecture on that nonsense. That became a subject for our government to even talk about.
So you see how you see how people are playing on the ignorance of desperate individuals?
Wow, and that is encouraged by government ministers, by the nonsense that the acknowledgement given this thing by the Minister of Ecclesiastical Affairs. By the way, Tim, do you have a clip of Joachim's contribution in the House? I
have one when he's taking Alan Shastney to task about being born in Martinique.
Well, I don't know why you're not playing it more often, because, in fairness to Philip Pierre, I have not heard Philip Pierre talk about I personally did not hear him saying anything about not born in St. Lucia and the whites and what. That came from another source, as you well know. It's on video.
No, but if he wants it to stop, all he has to do is to tell his MPs, don't get in that kind of practice.
Oh, don't misunderstand me. I'm saying he didn't say it, but as far as I'm concerned, he should control his cabinet and what his ministers say.
Yeah, that's simple.
Especially involving Parliament. I'm not excusing him from that, but the fact is he did not himself say so. So whether he silently endorses is another story. But the endorsing part becomes even more prominent when you listen to a man of God. A man of God he professes to be, although he carries his gun to church and everything, we know that. But a man of God in the House is talking about people's accents and the color of their skin, and given a chance, they would put people on the slave ships.
Playing on people's ignorance. That's what it is.
No, but Tim, it's not people like that. It's racist of him. He's not playing on anybody's thing, because I believe Joachim demonstrated ignorance there. Because what he was saying was pure foolishness, crap.
It's not.
No sense whatever.
No. I don't think it's ignorance. He knows better. But
you and I differ.
No. What is that? It's demagoguery. He's preaching to a certain set of people who have that kind of belief. So instead of dispelling it, instead of dissipating it, what he's doing is encouraging it, because he knows that those people in the end will support his party. That's exactly what he's doing.
Well, Tim, what you just did there is made it 10 times worse than I'm saying. I'm being generous.
No, I disagree with you. It's not ignorance. Joachim Henry knows better.
I heard you.
But he knows exactly what he is doing.
In other words, it's calculated.
Yes.
That is your view. I respect it. I am saying I'm going to be more generous. I cannot believe a guy like that actually believes what he said. I mean, you're saying he doesn't believe it.
When he speaks and interacts with people from, let's say, the EU, the white people from the EU, and the Inter-American Development Bank and the IMF, looking for money for his ministry. How he behaves.
You're mixing up the issues.
I am not mixing up the issues at all. Not at all.
You're confusing me. My brain is not
okay.
What I'm saying is there is a hypocrisy in the fact that these guys go out to the white people overseas to beg for assistance. Help us out. We're in trouble. Help us with our medicals. I wish you would do a little research into what we just went through there with COVID, by the way. In England right now, in the UK, there's an inquiry going on centered on this mantra of follow the science.
Yeah.
And if you check the definition of science never stops, It's experiment after experiment after experiment in different situations, different environments, to see if it comes up with the same result. If you were to ask any of our leaders, thinking back now, what science were they referring to when they talked the nation into taking those injections, including myself, and I recommended it too, based on the science? And if you ask me now what science are I talking about, I haven't a clue. Because there is ample evidence, there's enough talk going on in the States that this thing may have been lab started. I'm not justifying that. I'm not in a position. We don't hear anything about Fauci. Fauci seems to be hiding. Nobody can account for anything in the States. But in England, there's a lot of noise going on about this matter of telling people follow the science. And the premise is there was no goddamn science. There was no science, but that was the mantra. Follow the science, follow the science. So, it shows again our vulnerability. That somebody just put something under a certain name. But we should not forgive our ministers, our elected ministers of government, not only being racist, but telling people things that are counterproductive right in our house, suggesting that Alan Shasney, because that's the only person with the accent, that's the only person with the color, and he's suggesting that if this guy is given a chance, he would have people on the slave ships again. What exactly is the aim of that talk? Especially minutes after the Prime Minister seemed to dissociate himself from that kind of talk.
All right, Rick. You're saying?
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. But let's continue. Let's hear from the Minister and MP for Castries Southeast, Joachim Henry, in that Martinican debate.
Can you imagine that Laminar Hospital is being run annually at about $1.4 billion a year? Can you imagine that? But you're going to come and pretend when levy is raised to increase the basket of goods to all St. Lucians, you're making it seem like it is something else that's happening. So I will tell you something. You're asking question, you know more, you're a Martinican, I'm not. You know? No, you know more about Martinique than me. You were born there, I wasn't born there. You understand? Huh? Sure. No, my mother smuggled in a fishing boat for better. I'm not Martinican. You are. Sure. So you should tell me about Martinique, not I tell you about Martinique. But I'll tell you. What you know about Martinique? But you're Martinican, you're asking me about... But you're from Martinique, you're asking me about Martinique. But how you're Martinican asking me about Martinique?
Equity Minister Joachim Henry. What's in the chat room, Kimani?
Someone says, right after the election, the lady said what would happen in St. Lucia. Lots of what she said has already happened. Someone is asking, what is Pastor Ben saying about what is going on in the house? The disrespect, hate, and anger. Another comment, I suspect the majority of the callers that are calling on this show are calling from overseas. I wonder why. Someone responded saying they're fed up of sending money and barrels to us in St. Lucia.
I think, I get a sense, and I think I've hinted at, that people in the diaspora, people overseas, they understand, they have a better grasp of the issues than many of us who are in St. Lucia. And more than that, the fact that there's distance between their homeland and where they live right now, they are maybe taking a keener interest in the situation on the ground. And no doubt they are also making a contribution by sending barrels upon barrels to relatives, to friends. So they have a greater appreciation for the plight of the people in St. Lucia than the people on island having any kind of concern for themselves. And more than that, I think maybe because of exposure, they value the democratic process and their freedom and freedom of expression. So they would consider, a lot graver things like wanting to cease providing coverage to the parliamentary proceedings than many on the island will take those things for granted. And I'm sure they have taken note of people wanting to suggest or maybe wanting to enact legislation to prevent those nationals, the children, from ever contemplating being the Prime Minister of St. Lucia. So they're definitely taking note. What's in the chat room? Any more comments?
Someone says he is not comparing the Martinique Health Service to the Hudson, our current health system. No way. Another comment, the hatred, anger, bitterness, animosity in the house filters down to all the communities in this country. We have found ourselves in a terrible state of affairs. Someone says, good points, caller. The house used to be a place of piquant and friendly banter. It's now a place of hatred and racial rhetoric. You can see the hate in the body language and facial expressions of those members. Truly unfortunate and sad. Tim, why do you think the people were elected? It's because they are of the same mindset. They continue to win until they are jammed. Then they will look for a savior. Someone says, we in St. Lucia are too passive like house slaves. We are afraid to speak out, protest, and demand things to be done in our interest. But we think by being comfortable in our jobs and homes, we are immune from what is to come. Mistake. Let's do what we have to do.
Pastor Ben said this is such an ignorant rant about Joachim. Obviously, Lamina at over $1 billion because runs at over $1 billion because it has to accommodate people both in and out of Martinique, like him, for example, when he was not well. If we had our own proper health care system and hospitals, they wouldn't need over $1 billion to operate. Again, feeding on the ignorance of us Lucians. Let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. Somebody says if PJP referring to SLP members being unemployable. Another person says science is a theory. And another one says, I'd like to know what is it that the speaker had to do and the cameras cannot be rolling while it was being done. This is more frightening than anything else that went on there.
Someone says here, he ran to Martinique for treatment. Why didn't he stay in St. Lucia for treatment? Someone says, yes, Tim, we living abroad are very interested in what's going on. Tim, we're concerned about our country. That's why I'm upset when some St. Lucians talking about the white man. The white man money is taking care of them in St. Lucia.
Somebody from the Cayman Islands sent a WhatsApp message. It reads, hi Tim, did you see the launch of the Digital Content Initiative? I think it is a collaboration between CAMDO and the Ministry of Education. I must say it was very impressive. I congratulate those who worked on the project. It really has the potential to change how we educate.
Someone says, just wait and see. Our youth will become more angry, rebellious, and dangerous after being exposed to this unruly, disorderly, and despicable behavior in the house or the pig pen.
We have a WhatsApp call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Hi, good afternoon to you, caller.
Good afternoon, Tim. Yeah. It's your friendly neighborhood.
From Canada. Go ahead, sir.
My guy. Good afternoon, my guy. How are you?
Okay.
Yes, sir. First of all, Tim, I'd like to make a minor correction to Rick. Science is based on observation, not just experiments. And I would also like to, again, disagree with the eccentric pastor and all the people who call you about, how God is, we need to be a godly nation. So we can. Tim, what has God done for anybody lately? Last time I checked,
you're an atheist. You don't have a relationship with God, so you're speaking from your own experience.
No, but how can you have a relationship with something that does not exist? Last time I checked, that God was the leading cause of death. Why do people constantly call upon God to change His own plans? Okay, you believe in God. You said God has a divine plan. Why do you constantly have to pray when God already knows what is best for you? So if God blesses you with cancer, just take cancer and be quiet. Okay? And let people who, like myself, who understand that human beings are the only ones who are going to solve our problems. Now to the prophetess woman who made her way to St. Lucia stating that, we're going to have a natural disaster and so on and so forth. Does she not know we sit on the edge of a tectonic plate? Do they know anything about geology? Of course we're going to have earthquakes. Of course there's possibilities of tsunamis. Of course there's possibilities of hurricanes. Why do people think that these things are prophecies? Those things happen in nature. Those are naturally occurring things. So why do we need some woman who does not know more than you or I about God to come tell you that they know the mind of God in the matter? What well of information is available to that particular woman that is not available to you and I, that she would know and you and I wouldn't know? Is she more special than you and I? No, she isn't. She isn't. So that aside, let's deal with the real issues, man. Tim, our House of Assembly. Oh my, Tim. Bon Dieu. Comment est-ce que ça bug?
But usa atheist é que quoi no bon Dieu? Quand t'es atheist ou yaga ça? Ah ouais, pas.
Mais man choix. Non, man choix, ça rien fait encore.
Bouglasa atheist ek bougla di bon Dieu. So ça bon Dieu là.
No, pani body team. Body say just me money. I see what my coins out here, man. Now I body be see.
Okay.
Just a buy my lazy cotton.
Well, continue, Paulo.
It's like a verbal tick.
Okay.
But anyways, Tim, our house of assembly, Tim, has descended into a mockery, Tim. Timothy, what is this? What is going on here, Timothy? How is it that we have government ministers and speakers of the house who are so uncouth, Tim? So what do we expect from the general population, Tim? What do we expect? Why is it that we are going backwards, Tim, in our thinking? You know why? Because our government keeps on aligning itself with countries where dictators rule. Now we're going to Turkey for loans. We go to places like Morocco. We go to Saudi Arabia. We go to Venezuela. What do these countries have in common? Most of them are autocrat countries. Most of them are led by a majority Muslim countries outside of Venezuela. A majority Muslim countries where the rights of people, especially women, gay people, do not exist. Where women have to walk around in cloth bags and gay people are thrown off buildings. Okay, Tim? Our government keeps on aligning itself with dictators. That is why this is happening in our parliament. We are headed for a dictatorship. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you so much. Silicon Broadcast will be hearing from St. Lucia's first female Speaker of the House, Sarah Flood Bora. You're watching NewsSpin on our NewsSpin Facebook page. We are also on YouTube, and you're listening to the broadcast on Power 97.9 FM.
There is only one option when they arrive. Our services will make the dead look alive. With Bouteille and Beaufort accessibility. Remember, we have the only private cemetery. No one can match our prices from coffins to corsage. Personalized service you get when Lazarus takes charge. Quality service, no package to make your wallet bleed. Lazarus is your true friend in your time of need.
It's my life and I want more. More time, more power. Pay my Lucy like bill isn't hard. I pay with credit or debit card. Pay direct to Lucy like my account. I have the power, yeah. Pay online to Lucy like my account. Anywhere, any day, any hour. Lights are on at home. No more standing in line. No more worrying about my bill. Now I'm all paid up. Got more time to chill, yeah, yeah. Pay my Lucy like bill isn't hard. I pay with credit or debit card.
Register today to set up Lucelect My Account by going to www.myaccount.lucelect.com on any device. Follow the steps to register and pay your electricity bills directly to Lucelect online and get back to your life. For now, this service is available to customers with domestic accounts only.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
This holiday season flows your trusted guide with giveaways and cash to spread far and wide. Worth over 150,000, you heard right. This Christmas is on us, so you can go wild. Appliances for your home, laptop over phone, shopping sprees and cash galore. We're covering your holidays with joy for sure, cause when you are with Flow, you win more.
Hey guys, Flow wants you to know this Christmas is on us. Win over $150,000 in cash and prizes when you sign up, bundle up, switch up, pay up, top up, or activate a combo plan. Every day it's a grand giveaway. Prizes include shopping sprees, appliances, ham, wine, and cold hard cash. This Christmas is on us. Visit in store or online today at discoverflow.co for more info.
Things are heating up at the National Farmers and General Workers Credit Union Limited. We've got some red hot deals just for you with 100% financing. Rev up for some excitement with our incredible vehicle loan offer. Building or renovating, we've got you covered. Or pack up for that ideal getaway. This offer won't be available forever. Visit us today and take advantage of this limited time deal. Don't miss out on these fantastic deals with 100% financing. Only at the National Farmers and General Workers Credit Union Limited. We're your friend when you're in need.
Join us at the KFC Recruitment Pop-Up. KFC is searching for enthusiastic team members, supervisors, restaurant managers, delivery drivers, cyclists, and riders. Friday, December 1st at Constitution Park, Castries, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Join the KFC team and receive exceptional training and amazing benefits. Take this opportunity to shape your future with KFC. See you at the Pop-Up.
If you suffer with pain from fibromyalgia, lupus, sickle cell anemia, sciatica, or arthritis, likely because doctor specialists from overseas in St. Lucia will diagnose and treat patients who have been suffering long. Likely because specialists will treat the symptoms of stroke, brain injuries, spinal cord injuries with shoulders, elbows, knees, back, and neck pain, even plantar fasciitis being a pain of the past. Likely because specialists in St. Lucia EMG tests will measure the damage in neuromuscular disorders and diabetic neuropathy, because likely because Dr. Specialist provides proper diagnosis using the most effective treatment for you to live free of pain.
La Clinique Ducor. Call 451-6559 or 721-9950. La Clinique Ducor, located at number 17 High Street, Castries.
Can't get a break from all this tax? Head to Automotive Art and get a taxcation. Automotive Art is offering you an ease from VAT and health and safety levy with savings of up to 15% and more. That's right, 15% of all tools, 15% of all accessories, 15% of car detailing, 15% of all rims, 15% of computerized wheel alignment, and 15% and more of selected tires with savings of up to 30% on some sizes. It's Automotive Art Taxcation. Visit us at Automotive Art at Vidbutey Castries and Latuni Vieux today and enjoy a taxcation. Offer valid for limited time. Some conditions apply. See stores for details.
Music check. Vibe check. The experience check. The brunch of the century is coming. Welcome to Sunburst, presented by Power 97.9 FM. Sunday, November 26th at Bayview Escape, VG Cove. Your heavy hitters, DJ Chens, DJ Mikey, Hollywood HP, and Power 97.9's FM DJ Fraternity. Early bird tickets are $130 and $180 for regular. Sunburnt is an ultra food inclusive, starting at 11 a.m. Get your tickets right now at Steve's Barbershop and Power 97 FM's office in VG. It's the brunch of the century. Sunday, November 26th at Bayview Escape, VG Cove. Party in the land of the heat. Sunburnt, presented by Power 97.9 FM and sponsored by Digicel, Quartz, Ready Cash, and Desperado. Welcome to Sunburnt. Sunburnt. Live, laugh, and dance.
Eye contact, I go make you feel my contact.
Coming soon, Blast Gaming, powered by the St. Lucia National Lottery, changing lives.
First of all, that the leader of the opposition, the member for Milford South, was rising on a point of order to say that what the Prime Minister was saying was inaccurate. He was given inaccurate information. And the issue in question was figures that were being relayed in the House of Parliament, and the opposition leader was saying that they were not correct. Now, as a matter of fact, you can determine whether or not a figure is correct. So this is not an opinion that was being given, and this is the Prime Minister, the Minister of Finance, giving figures and percentages, and I'm just sort of paraphrasing. So that is a matter of fact that can be determined or not whether he was giving accurate information. And the members of parliament and the people of St. Lucia are entitled to accurate information, particularly from the Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance. And so it was inherent upon the Speaker to ensure that the information that the Prime Minister was giving was in fact accurate, and that was a very valid point of order that was being raised by the Leader of the Opposition. And I felt the Speaker erred in not allowing that point of order to be heard and not doing his duty to ensure that the Prime Minister clarified what he was saying or addressed the point that was being raised by the Leader of the Opposition. Now, one might want to ask, why was the Leader of the Opposition so insistent? He should have been, because all of these proceedings are recorded in Hansard, and these are there for all time, for all generations. So it is important that the facts are accurate. And if a member doesn't object to it at the time, he can't come afterwards in another session at another time and bring it up, especially when you're talking about alleging or making an allegation against the member. The member had every right to insist that what was being said was accurate about him, and it was a factual statement that could be proven, and the Speaker had a responsibility to ensure that that was in fact done by the Prime Minister, and that the Leader of the Opposition's objection or point of order was addressed. So in my view, that was bias that was displayed by the Speaker and hinted on an abuse of power, to be honest, because this is what we have been seeing with this Speaker. Then the Speaker says that he asks the members of GIS to turn off the cameras so he can do what he has to do. I think, so that I can do what I have to do. I think that's what he says. So, in essence, he wants the cameras off in the house so he can do what he has to do, so that the public doesn't see what he has to do. And any other reason he gives, I don't believe it, because he himself asked them to turn it off so he can do what he has to do.
But he can determine whether proceedings of the House are aired on television, social media, or not.
Well, I mean, the Speaker has overall direction and control of the House to ensure that proceedings are in order, but powers are given to persons in public authority not to do as they please. Powers are given to them not because we love them. Powers are given to them so that they can ensure that the business of the people is conducted in an efficient and appropriate manner. And it would seem that the reason why the Speaker wants to turn off the video, or he wants to, or he's considering, I should say, whether or not he should continue to air the proceedings, is that he wants to do what he wants to do without being monitored and scrutinized. Because he asked them to turn it off so he can do what he has to do. So why is it we can see the exchange? Why is it we can see the debate? Why is it we can see the member raising a point of order and the Speaker responding, but we cannot see how the Speaker is going to handle this? This is an abuse of power, and I have really, really serious concerns that we are fast becoming a dictatorship in this country.
The first female speaker in St. Lucia, Mrs. Sarah Flood Barbara, and she was speaking during an appearance on the DBS program News Make a Life. That's last evening. Kimani was in the chat room. Your final update?
Someone is shouting your name in the chat room. When I asked why, the person said, or individual said, you're giving the atheist too much airtime. And a lot of other persons in the chat room didn't take too nicely with what the atheists, well, our friend.
We need to listen to it. Even if we believe in God, we believe in a higher power. He does not believe that there is a God. Let's listen to what he has to say.
Elsewhere in the chat room, someone says the same man who was upset that some people will complain about high inflation, high cost of living, is now attempting to find ways to ease the squeeze when he initially admitted there was nothing he could do to make life easier for the people. Is this a case of amnesia or a case of morality? Another comment, someone says that man can be a good MP for SLP, I think referring to the atheist. Someone says, I hope the special prosecutor looks into the sale of the Banan's land. There is a stench emanating from this deal. Tim, science is not theory. It is research, hypothesis, observation, inferences, recording, and conclusion. So it is totally practical or hands-on, and it's life survival. Another comment, why would that minister pretend that he knows nothing about Martinique when it's Martinique that was responsible for saving his life? Some of us forget too fast. Someone says, referring to the atheist, if God does not exist, why are you contradicting yourself by acknowledging that God is causing death? And finally, Tim, did we expect something different? Do a background check on the people we expect better from.
All right, let us hear now from Bradley Felix, the MP for Choiseul Saltibus, speaking recently about the 2.5% levy and the toll that is taking on the people of St. Lucia and some of the experiences that he has been subjected to. I mean, interacting with a couple people.
I want each and every one of you all here and those listening to remind the Labour Party of words that they said many, many years ago, that $5 can block a hole. You remember that? They so believe that $5 could have blocked a hole, but now they're putting in a 2.5% tax on you. What a contradiction. What a contradiction. You know, yesterday, in one of my little rounds in the community, I went to a little shop, not one of the big shops, a small shop. And there was a lady there, I think she must have had about 6 or 7 items on the counter. Now sometimes, so I take a little juice and I put it there and I tell her, buy a juice for me. She said, no problem, no problem, no. But when the bill came, they tell the lady $84. It's a good thing I was behind her because she back. So I feeling so bad, I take my juice. She tell me, no, I pay bao. Monsieur, on m'a levé capon fait. You see, I say that because some people are saying that the 2.5% is irrelevant. It's a small thing. But I can tell you, especially, and all of us here who have walked the political fields can tell you that what you see on the surface in St. Lucia, there's a deeper problem with regards to poverty in St. Lucia. There's a serious problem with poverty in St. Lucia. I visited a gentleman on Friday on crutches. He wanted to see me. So he wanted some assistance from me. And the ground of his home was the mud. The mud. And he gave me his story. He told me he was living in Laclery all his life. He told me, yes, I supported him all the time. And he had an accident, so he came back to his home in Choiseul. And with the help of his family and the little money he got, he put up a little structure, very small structure, but he was looking for some assistance. You see, I say all of that because a lot of people who are living comfortable lives don't recognize the impact of that 2.5%. It is having a serious, serious impact. And when they tell you it's not going to be on food, we all know now that that's a lie. Because so many other things surround the price of food. And we have heard it before at our previous meetings. Whether it be the transportation, the handling, all different things, the advertising, everything affects the price of food.
MP for Choiseul Saltibus, Mr. Bradley Felix. Finally, our NewsSpin news of the day. The World Health Organization is investigating mysterious cases of pneumonia among Chinese hospitals with sick children. The WHO is investigating mysterious cases of pneumonia among Chinese hospitals with sick children. That's a broadcast. Thank you so much for watching on our NewsSpin Facebook page as well as on YouTube and listening on Power 97.9 FM. My name is Timothy Poleon. I'll be back tomorrow afternoon, same time, 12:30, with another edition of the most monitored talk show in the world, NewsSpin. Goodbye.